Let's rob a bank. Do what now?
They cannot get away.
Hello there, Aldis. How are you doing, sir?
Fantastic. How you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. Thanks very much for the movie. So, I mean, it's really, this is, I mean, I love getting to chat about these movies, but this is just so difficult to prepare questions for because there's so many twists and turns that I just don't want to give away. So I'm going to throw it directly to you, and please kind of explain to us what you can about Otis. Set the scene. Let us know a little bit about Otis that you would describe from your perspective, because I don't want to give anything away for this.
I would say that, in Marmalade, in a world where it's rife with deception and everybody's telling a different story, Otis himself has his own deceptive story that he's a part of. We don't know which side he's on, what side he's playing, but we know what the goal is and why he's sitting there dealing with Joe's character. So Otis, he's very serious. He takes himself seriously. He takes his job seriously, his approach to life seriously. But he's still bound to make a few mistakes here and there, and he fumbles the ball a little bit. He's human, but he still is as dedicated as he is to, what he's doing and what he's trying to go for. He still has a heart. He still has compassion, and that makes it ever more difficult when he realizes the truth of what's going on.
Mm-hmm. What I loved about your characters, I mean, you said that he takes what he does very seriously, but at the same time, you add a lot of humor and levity to the movie. But that must have been really difficult because you don't share a lot of the story that we actually kind of see on screen. You kind of share specific scenes with Joe now. So can you explain a little bit how you managed to kind of get into that humor without being because I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but we kind of all of a sudden you appear at moments that we least expect.
Yes.
I mean, even like what there's one scene, I don't think this is spoiling too much, but like we're in one very sensual scene, and all of a sudden we see Otis, to use a phrase that Johnny Depp uses, you're dropping a grumpy. And it's like it's just the last thing we expect to see. So I mean, you must have had a laugh on set, but how do you kind of get into that kind of humor without actually having been on set with the other parts of it?
Because it's already on the page, man. I mean, I knew that humor was there the moment I read it. The first time I read the script, which is why I signed on to it, because it offered the opportunity for that. So we didn't have to do much. All we had to do was just step into those shoes, and Kier gave us the room to play and really explore what we wanted, from the lines, from just really stretching the characters and how they dealt with one another. He gave us a free range, so improv a good bit, and we were able to. The fun you see is honestly just because it's reflective of the fun we were having while making it.
You can tell. Yeah.
So yeah, it was nice.
And who cracked the most? I mean, because you obviously there must have been a lot of outtakes while you were filming with Joe. Now, who cracked up first? Was it you or was it him? Or both of you the same?
I'm hard to crack. I give it to Joe, but the person I would say who was probably cracking the most was Kier. He might tell you different, but I think it was Kier because we get on the scene and just in the background you hear it, and then cut, and you're like, So I think
I'm trying to drop a grumpy here. Stop
exactly.
laughing.
Which I mean,
Brilliant. I mean,
I've never heard that before.
It was what Johnny Depp said in the court case. That's why. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
So, I mean, it was something I remembered later after watching the movie that you actually had been in a much more serious film, as an inmate.
Yep.
Did you find that helped to kind of help you with this character, because they're very different characters, but maybe that kind of being someone who's been in prison, did that help you at all?
They're very different, very, very different.
Yeah.
In the way that it would have helped, I would say that it helped me distinguish the different choices I wanted to make with this character, because I almost didn't do this film initially because I had just come off of playing someone in prison. And, I was like, well, I've been there, and then I read the script and I read all the way and then got halfway through and I was like, oh, there was a switch. And then I got all the way through and I said, oh, this is something completely different. And for me, I want to fill my risks that I take, my chances, my opportunities, my jobs. I want to fill my whole volume of work with as much range as possible. And I want to be a part of, every kind of nuanced thing. So when it comes to this, it wasn't anything like what I had just done, which was great. And my approach to that was not prison first. My approach to it was understanding who the real character
Right.
and his approach to prison. You know, who did he know? What did he do? Because he
Mhm.
lived in a very opposite sort of pool. So what would he think of going into this? And that's where you get him making some choices that are a little bit on the nose, a little bit pushing it too far. Like, bro, you can calm down. But that's where the humor is driven. It makes it funny because as serious as he is, the more serious he is, the more funny the scenario is.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I mean, I was speaking to Keir the other day, and he said that you all knew exactly where the script was going to go. You'd read the whole thing. You knew exactly everything that it kind of played out. So that must have been, you must have really kind of felt on your, had to keep yourself on your toes, to make sure that you were kind of, you could play with the audience to make sure that what was going to happen later on really kind of hit home, but also didn't annoy the audience, because those kind of twists can sometimes annoy the audience if you're not careful.
Well, that's where it comes, and I'm repeating myself on this, but that's where balance of tone comes because I think Kier had a very specific vision, and obviously he had to oversee that vision, so he really kind of kept us on pace throughout the duration of the shoot. But being able to balance that tone, it comes not only just in the words, it's really how it's shot, but also then the other characters, the other actors that we have in these scenes where the people who are not in on the deception, what is their truth? How does that marry with the people who are actually deceiving? So if everybody's sort of playing the same song, playing a part, we doing it right, we hitting the right notes, it works. And that's again a heavy job, and hats off to Kier because he's the one who's got to measure that and temper that balance where it's not out of pocket or a little, oh, you took a chance, but this is a little bit too crazy. It's like, nah, he kept it measured.
No, it works perfectly because I just did not see those two main twists coming at all. So kudos to everybody there. Yeah, it was brilliant. Yeah. So
Oh
listen,
man.
give me the wrap. I've got 2 minutes. So just to finish off, something else I want to talk to you about, Aldis, is that you've got another film coming very soon
Yeah.
with, if I'm not mistaken, with your brother, no, Edwin,
Yeah. We produced and wrote
which is
Parallel.
coming out really soon. You must be like, is that like a passion project you've been trying to get going for quite a while? What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, Parallel was there's a film that we adapted to what it is now. Parallel, there's a film called Parallel Forest. It was a Chinese film that we saw and was really fantastic, not blown away. So our friend Jalen brought this project to my brother and I, and Jalen's also a co-producer on the film, but he brought the project to my brother and I, and we wanted to take a little bit more of a senior role in it with producing and writing to see this thing all the way through. So really, for our first film out together under our production company, was a great experience, great learning experience. Working with Danielle Deadweiler was amazing. She's a fantastic human being, a fantastic actor, and you know, we we're really happy with this endeavor, with this effort. It's now going to be out to the world, so we let the world take it. But we're just really proud to have accomplished this and gotten it done. And now it's on to the next project.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant. Well, listen, thank you so much for speaking to me. It's a pleasure to meet you. Wish you the best of luck with both projects, and I hope to speak to you again sometime soon, sir.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you.
All right, nice to see you. Take care of yourself. Bye now.
It's me and you against the whole wide world.